And so the Catholic Church nuns have challenged the Obamacare provision for health care to include contraceptives for any of their members, and the support that all religious Catholic groups can't ignore that as long as while they work through the appeals court in one of the circuits, and perhaps it's going to go to the federal. And what right now in right minimization we want to be exempt just, and that is sufficient. And I think that the Supreme Court here don't magnitude of this issue here. The Catholic nuns, they're not religious in the sense of serving God that created this world and so on, and that's coming soon. They are all pagans. They worship the sun out there. So if they're not worshiping the God of the creation, then they're worshiping Satan. They're worshiping the creation. So this is the first issue here. And it's obvious that Catholic Church, they're not politics. They want to rule the world. Now with Francis here, Pope Francis, as a Jesuit, belonging to the Jesuit order, and it's straight that he's going to be able to revive the Roman Empire and bring back the Roman Empire. Now these politicians in the world taking pictures with him, and all they're doing is he's sort of absorbing some of their influence. Now here was the bottom line with these Catholics and this contraceptive things. The Romanic languages, the Portuguese, the French, Italian, are Catholics generally, and they like them using contraceptives because they'll be able to manage the size of their families, and what are doing, they just want to have one or two kids. Now these ones on Portuguese and so forth in Brazil, they have 8 and 12 kids. The bottom line is that the Pope is purporting himself to be the leader of the Christian world, and of course Christian, he's pagan, he shouldn't be the leader of the Christian world, he's not a Christian. But nevertheless, he wants to be the lead, seen as the leader of the Christian world. And how they can do it? By numbers. So if Latin America and all these Latin countries have kind of abundance of citizens, then they could always argue that we have this, our numbers, our membership is larger than yours. And that's why when you become a Catholic, your name doesn't come off the books, because they want to present that and say, we have the others, they 500 million, so we're supposed to have the majority, and therefore we should have the leadership of the organization. But as I said, it's just about politics. They want to rule the world. They want to bring back the Roman Empire, for the Roman Empire, and snap power from all these Bush, from Obama and all these folks. And so that's the real reason why they're having this controversy with this controversy, because it would have been so nice if India and China were Catholics, which means that automatically they had the majority and they could have played that game that, well, and so on, and just don't try to get into people's face and try to accept it as a problem. On the other hand, they want to come up with this high moral ground saying that, oh, we care about the lives of the unborn. They are people and they feel pain and so on and so forth. And I just have to remember, guys killed people untold. In France, you were hunting down the people who were the descendants or who accepted the Christian Reformation, which started with Martin Luther and his 95 Theses in the Catholic. So it was Galileo who said that the earth was round. They had the holy index. You write a book that they don't like, you get killed. You say something against the church, you get killed. So they had in the Second World War. Look how many Jews were killed, and the people said the Pope in Italy was just thumbing his finger while Hitler was killing them. Was Hitler doing the Catholics' bidding? No, this is one you read carefully. I mean, why when Jews were instrumental in causing the Roman Empire to collapse? Because when God scattered these people through the Roman Empire, Festus and these people who went down and beat up and destroyed the Jews around the world, they continued to worship and do the Sabbath day worship and the Ten Commandments thing and the Torah and so on and so forth. And these barbarian people accepted the Jewish religion, and instead of being barbarian, they started to get cultured now, because God gives you culture. And the Roman Empire was creating division and ruling these various tribes of the Germanic people. So with religion now, they were able to sort of become brothers and smash. Then Rome came back through Arius, the Pope from Alexandria, Egypt, and he went up and he joined 3 of these tribes and started teaching them Arianism. So and Vatican to mass an army and go and kill all these 3 tribes. This is why in Daniel it talks about the 10-horned beast, and 3 were uprooted and 1 took its place. So the Catholic Church was able to destroy the Ostrogoths and the Heruli, and took their place according to this prophecy, so that they're in there, but they're not a legitimate sort of a, ruler of these times. Okay, now, so because the Jews were able to, help out in causing these people to unite, they turned a blind eye and let Hitler kill all these folks. Look at the Gulf War. Look at all the confusion as Bush a crusade. So these actions could be definitely the Catholic directed. Now in Syria, they had a Jesuit priest who was kind of working and lobbying for the real acceptable things for Assad to go. And I can't see when we see what happened in Egypt and in other parts of the Middle East there, even with Tunisia with Ali. These folks are just trivial. They want democracy and capitalism, and they're trying to get America especially into these areas. And when you're going crusade in the Middle East, it is deadly. You lose hands down. Okay, now from Hannibal and all these people, and they march down the road and get out of the place because these people, they're indomitable. You can't control them, and eventually you got to go. Okay, so this is the backdrop of my understanding, and I'm just finding like they were talking about this contraceptive when the Catholic Church has been instrumental in killing so many people out there. So where is the sanctity of life? Well, they're just playing games out here now, saying, oh, joining the state, look popular and so on. But real term, really, they're not. They don't want their Romanic language peoples or the Latin-based people, although English does some Latin, but generally, we talk about Italy, Portugal, or Portuguese, Spanish-speaking people want their numbers so that they could play this game and say that they're the largest denomination out there, and so they should run the sort of the world, as it were. So this is the bottom, and we're supposed to know better. But of course, these secret societies made the Supreme Court to be stacked with these Catholics up there, and I'm not sure what the number is, but they might be in the majority. So anytime these Catholics come through with anything, the Supreme is going to vote with. Because, I mean, I love Sotomayor, but she's Catholic, I believe, from Puerto Rico and all that. And I mean, what we are does play significant in these income. So this is what I think, and I mean, they should be fighting this Obamacare, nothing, because healthcare and we're talking about overpopulation and so forth. So here again, they come with logical stuff, and I mean, there are other methods that people could avoid pregnancies if they use condoms. Well, not even condoms. If they use the rhythm method, when the woman is hottest and she's, seeing her ovulating, as it were, just find a way, to avoid sex or whatever. But then again, she's hottest, she wants to screw that. So what you going to do? Maybe contraceptive is the best way. The pill to press the ovum to shield the sperm from reaching the ovum. But this is ridiculous that the Catholic Church playing this game, and intelligent men who have an education don't see through this game. First of all, you need to see that the Catholics and they're not Christians, they're pagans. And secondly, they want the numbers to come up high so that they could pull that game on the world and say, we have the largest members in the Christendom, so that we're supposed to run this show out here. But really and truly, do what it takes to dominate the world, because they want to bring back the Roman Empire. Now, as I said in another video, the Pope should be studying the Bible to understand that it's only for 2 weeks he's going to be able to do whatever he's trying. So it seems as if this Pope is not going to be the one who is going to end up being the Emperor of Rome for that 2 weeks, because he's on a roll. He went down to Latin America hoping that he's going to come with a crescendo and with a big appeal, and as the Bible said, the world is going to want him and say, we want you to be our leader. But smart people know that to run this world, it takes trillions of dollars. The Catholic Church doesn't have a cent. Most of it paid off to these priests that's buggering these boys and molesting these girls and so on. So to think that the Pope make a better place is just stupid. It's just folks who don't have no education, period. Okay, so I think these nuns need to stop this game that they're playing here and just go away.